Sorry, that took me a second. I couldn't find my music tab. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Hi, chat. Hello, friends. Did you enjoy your silence? We are now live.
Oh.
Hi, chat. So welcome to BloqTalk. This is actually episode 9. I will tell you a little bit about it and introduce myself for those of you that are here for the first time. BloqTalk is a weekly podcast here on Twitch where we talk about Beat Saber, mapping, modding, lighting, things like that. But we've also recently started talking about things like competing in VR esports as well as community things. So tonight we are going to be joined by the Cube community staff members, Amanatsu, AFriendlyPug, and Stenis. So Stenis, how do you say your name? Let's get this, Stenis. Okay, let's get this out of the way immediately. So I'm gonna let them tell you a little bit about themselves before we get started. Oh, I do. Let me turn it off. Thank you.
Who's turning?
Clouder will go first. Clouder is my co-host.
Yeah, hello, I'm Clouder. I do a lot of stuff in BSMG and Score Saber. I'm a streamer and I draw.
Welcome. And then we have a friendly. I'm always going to do Amanatsu first. That's just going to happen every single time. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I'm an admin in Cube community. I was one of the first people that founded it. I think most of the admins are at this point, though. First couple people. I'm on the ranking team. I used to be good at Beat Saber, and now I'm not. So
you also hosted or helped to coordinate what was known as the Beat House at Anime Expo. So I think that's really important to mention because I also coordinated a house at Anime Expo. It became known as Ash House because I never really named it, and mine was smaller than yours. So I think it's very important because I appreciate the effort that went into to that job. So I think that's important. And then we also have AFriendlyPug. So if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Pug, also known as Dog. I'm from the UK. I am a Beat Saber mapper. Also the guy who runs the YouTube sometimes for Cube Community. And I don't stream very often.
But you do stream. I get to check out your streams. Actually, kind of frequently because you kind of stream at the time when I am doing stream-related work. So when I'm at the computer, and I just kind of always have Twitch up when I'm doing stuff on the computer during the day. And that's kind of when you stream because it's EU hours. So I get to catch it.
I see.
Oh, yeah, it's new. I just installed Nightbot and my mods are upset with me. I warned you guys in mod chat that this could happen. I said, just so you know, I am making choices and mistakes that you guys are going to have to fix later, Nightbot, and everybody was fine with it then. And then we have, thank you. Hello, hey guys. And then last but not least, we are joined by Stenis. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Stenis.
Hi, my name is Stenis. I come from Sweden. I'm a student boy. I used to play a lot of Beat Saber. Now I don't. Now I just play Minecraft. And I'm just a random guy that got picked for an editor for Cube Community. And I'm staff.
Perfect. Sorry, I'm laughing at what I did to my mods. This is gonna be the best BloqTalk ever for them. Do you need me to mod them? Hey, it's Danny too. Do you need me to block that sub-saber? Really? Okay. We'll deal with that later. Just let me know what I need to do. Okay, so yeah, that's everybody. We're from all over the place. So thank you guys so much because I know that the time zones are weird and it's kind of focused around Western time zones. So thank you guys for being here. I have so much that I want to ask you guys about. We usually kind of talk about mapping and things like that. But the last couple of episodes and even the next episode that I have planned, we're shifting away from that a little bit because I think that, especially after Anime Expo, seeing what VR and the community surrounding VR and the community surrounding Beat Saber actually has become, I think it's really important to talk about some of the extensions of that. And that includes communities that we have built. And as you guys mentioned, a lot of you guys are founding members or editors or staff members of Cube communities. So I want to talk to you guys about that. And I want to talk to you about the tournament that's coming up starting tomorrow. Because I know that there's a lot of people that are participating in that, and I want as many people as possible to watch it. So yeah, sound good?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I know you guys want to hear about that. So I need to stop reading chat because every time I look over, Nightbot's getting blocked or banned. So what do you guys like to do? We're going to talk about Beat Saber a little bit first. What do you guys like to do in your free time? Do you play any other rhythm games? I know for a fact that you do, but let's tell chat a little bit about that.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, rhythm games I play actively right now is probably just SDVX, but I got Muse Dash like everyone else on the planet. And I played that for a little bit. I don't know if I really like it though. It's like there's too much going on the screen. But I played Osu for a long time, and I like peaked around like 2000 or something on Osu, so it was like okay, but it was for that time period. It wasn't that amazing. But I played all the like ton of rhythm games growing up, like DDR, Guitar Hero, just anything that was a rhythm game. Basically, I've probably played it. So
Very cool. So did you get into Osu after Beat Saber?
no, I've been playing Osu for like 8 years. So
Oh, okay, sick. Very cool, very cool. What about you, Pug? What other rhythm games?
My first rhythm game was Osu. Played that for 4 years. Current one I'm playing right now, I wouldn't say any. I don't play SDVX much because I just don't have the motivation. I don't play Beat Saber because I don't have the tracking.
Sad tracking.
so true.
And I mean, it's just mainly Osu I used to play. Played that for 3 years straight, every day, 6 hours a day. Then skip a day.
Fuck.
And you-
Peaked like 23k on that.
Okay. So basically just us. Oos. What about you, Stenis? Any other rhythm games?
Before Beat Saber, I used to play Osumania, which is basically like the piano part of Osu. It's the less popular one. I used to play that, got up to like I think 10k. Then I found Beat Saber, or a friend introduced it to me, and I just played that. And now I don't play like, I play Beat Saber like semi regularly, but like that's it.
So we know that you didn't start with Beat Saber. Did anybody in Amma said that you played like DDR and Guitar Hero, and then you played. So Pug played Osu as well for a long time before Beat Saber. So nobody here started with Beat Saber. What about you, Clouder? Was Beat Saber your first? Because a bunch of people, Kay is saying Beat Saber is her first rhythm game. What about you, Clouder?
Technically, because I played Osu a tiny bit before Beat Saber, but like barely at all.
So just a tiny bit. So Beat Saber's like your first like actual rhythm game. Because I played Guitar Hero and I played DDR, but I didn't play a lot of DDR, but I played a lot of Guitar Hero before I got into Beat Saber. And I didn't get into Beat Saber right when Beat Saber came out. Did you guys? Did anybody here? Were you guys all at launch or?
I was day one.
I wasn't at launch.
Close.
Mine was like September, I think.
Oh, so pretty late for you as well. I was a little bit later than launch because I started in like July. But I mean, I wasn't that much later, just a couple of months.
Yeah.
Rhythm Heaven on Nintendo DS. I've been playing Cadence of Hyrule, and it's actually really fun. So don't.
But like, if we want to talk about like the absolute first rhythm game like I've ever played, it's like Geometry Dash.
Rhythm Heaven's cool. There's like a lot of Rhythm Heaven like songs being put into maps in Beat Saber that imitate how the game is played. Pretty cool. Like, you know, the ones where the the blocks will just like appear directly in front of you, and then there's like bombs in between them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are based on like Rhythm Heaven. So.
What about
understand.
musical instruments? Any other? Do you guys have any music exposure? Do you sing? Do you dance? Do you play anything?
In high school, I played trumpet. Well, I guess I started it in elementary school, but so I played trumpet for a while. but I ended up quitting because I had a really bad band teacher. And then my dad always played guitar growing up. He's like extremely good at guitar, and I think he's like secretly salty that I didn't pick up guitar. So
Anybody else? Were
I
there
have- In
musicians?
primary school, I did trombone, guitar, and the drum kit. Also, my mum plays the djembe, just like an African drum.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't think we've had anybody say African drum yet.
It's because my mum is from Zimbabwe.
That's actually really cool.
oh, I have a didgeridoo, by the way.
Oh, shit.
Oh my goodness.
I was really obsessed with it, and I really wanted it. I was like 15 or 16 or something, and I asked my mom to buy it for me for Christmas, and she did. It's really cool.
That's Amanatsu, by the way. I'm trying to get the Discord overlay working so you know who's telling us these wonderful stories. They do have accents.
I think like the only instrument I was like forced to learn, I was like 13. So it was the flute.
Did you wait? When you say forced, why were you forced?
Because like it was a school thing. You had to play.
Oh,
the flute.
you had to pick something. Oh, you had to
Yeah.
play the flute. So you just had like
Yeah.
25 people playing the flute in just one class? Like I don't understand. How did this
Yeah.
work?
Yeah.
Oh, like recorders.
Yeah, it's
recorded.
recorded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
was like, I
recorded,
don't
recorded.
understand. I've never
I'm
heard of this in my
fucking
life.
Lost in translation.
You're not
Lost in
stupid, but lots of recorders. That makes way worse. So I was just imagining 24 like young flute players.
Yeah, I was super bad too.
Yeah, I think everyone
Oh my
was.
goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, I did that too. I don't know if it's the same all across the world, but I was in elementary school and we played the flute or the recorder.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it a. Yeah, we definitely did as well. We definitely played the recorder. See if we can get this to work. Okay, yeah, because we've had people into Beat Saber that have literally no musical experience. I really only did dance. I didn't do any instruments whatsoever. And then we have people who have like very extensive music experience, which I think is really interesting.
I think it's interesting to see how many people Beat Saber is like their first rhythm game. Like, I don't want to say instrument because it's not an instrument, but like they didn't play any instruments before. They just don't really have any like musical experience or interest at all. And then they got Beat Saber and they're like super into it. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I would also say that Beat Saber is the least rhythmic rhythm game on the planet, bar none.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I did it. I fixed it. Perfect. Now you can see who's talking. Okay.
Oh,
Now, do you think that even though it is one of the more rhythmically uninvolved, there's not as much timing or rhythm involved in Beat Saber, do you think that having musical experience prior to playing it or other rhythm game experience prior to playing it helps at all when you first get into it?
I think maybe.
I think in the beginning, I think especially in the very beginning of Beat Saber, I don't know if you know or if you were aware that it ever existed, but in the very beginning when Beat Saber was like just came out, Flea had this document called what is he called? Beat Stalker.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, with like grips and
he when BSPD first started, he got like everyone's information and put it all in there about like what games we played, what instruments we played, how tall we were, what grips we used, all that kind of stuff, because he wanted to do some like analytical data on it. And at the very beginning, all the very good Beat Saber players at first, like all had previous rhythm game experience or instrument, like they played instruments, or like except for maybe Tammy. Tammy is just like this weird like rhythm game god. I don't like understand.
He's just a
but
god gamer.
he's actually a giga gamer. Like I don't know. So
Giga game.
but
yeah, I was talking to him about it. He said he just spends like way too much time on games, getting good at them.
he's really good at like every game. But I think that now it's not as big of a deal if like you have rhythm game experience or not. Because I don't know. I just feel like it's
swing and
different
hit the
now.
block.
Yeah, just
I
hit the
feel
block.
like Beat Saber is like really easy to get into as a rhythm game because like it's basically just hit the block.
Yeah.
You see the block, hit it.
Yep.
Well, I think a lot of them are that way, but I don't know. It's definitely one of the more physically challenging. DDR is physically challenging, but not in the same way. Beat Saber kind of hurts. Lilop was just Lilop, you know, the maps and makes like auto mapper and things like that. Just very recently got VR and was just in my chat, and I was like, so what do you think? What are your first impressions? And he said it really hurts. And I was like, yeah. Yeah, it really does. I think that's a really good, you know, it's one of the first things you notice. It's actually really painful. So I think that that's kind of cool. I've heard a lot of really good stories. Well, not the pain part, but like, you know, you hear about people that are losing weight and getting off medications, and like I used it for my spine and things like that. So I think that part of it's really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's especially like prevalent because it's a game, right? So all the gamers are picking up Beat Saber, and we're all out of shape and have never moved our arms in our whole life. So, like,
Yeah.
I think
You're like, I want to play an hour, and like then you literally just went to the gym for like an hour, and like that's a big deal for people that had, prior to that, like you said, weren't getting a lot of activity. I think that that's a huge thing. It's awesome to see it. So how did you guys get into Beat Saber? How did you first start? Some of you started later, some of you at lunch. Somebody said Stenis, thinks that a friend got you into it.
Yeah. So for me, like I had seen Beat Saber way before it launched because I was always like super into rhythm games, and so I'd heard about Beat Saber like probably like a year before it even launched, and I was just waiting and waiting and waiting, and then when it got released or like when it got announced for the release date, I got up that day, and I think was that. Let me see if I can go back in time because I think it was a day. Yeah, it was May 1st, which is a Tuesday, and my previous job I happened to have every Tuesday, Wednesday off. So I bought it like immediately, and I played all the expert plus songs the first session that I played the game, and then custom songs came out pretty soon after that. But yeah, I was just always into rhythm.
Yeah, I think it was like a
games.
week. I think it took a week for them to come out after launch, and the modding Discord was up 3 days after launch as well.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it was like 3 days actually, 5 days.
Yeah, it was very quick.
Hmm.
It was either because it came out on the 1st, and either the modding Saber Discord was out on the 3rd, or it was 3 days. But I know it was a 3. It was either 2 days after and on the 3rd, or it was 3 days later. It was very, very quickly thereafter. And then about a week after that, the custom songs came out. And so you were one of the people that was like farming Expert and Expert Plus. I hear horror stories about this all the time. What about you, Pug? Did you get it like at launch as well?
I originally heard about it from my friend like 3 months before it was gonna be launched, and I just added it to my Steam wishlist, and then it like popped up with a release date. I was just like, oh, let's play it. And then first day got into Expert Plus in like an hour, and then played it consecutively for like a week straight till custom songs came out. And then when custom songs came out, I took like a little bit of a break, and then just hard grinded it.
Do you guys remember what it was like when you first played it? For you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I
The only thing
remember when I
remember
first played
is
it.
Calamity Fortune. The only map I can remember.
It
What
was
about you,
really weird
Stenis?
for me. Like,
Tell us.
should I start with what got me into it, or like?
Yeah, because you
what
said,
it was
well, you
like?
had mentioned that a friend had told you about it a couple months later.
So a friend got it like day one or something, and they played a lot. They wasn't really into the community that much because they're kind of normie. But he took me to DreamHack. I tested it out there, and then like the whole summer went on, and then I played it at his house one more time, and I was like, "Nah, I'm hooked. I gotta buy a VR headset," and I got it.
What about you, Stenis? Tell us.
Tell us.
Tell us.
And then I got it.
And what was it like the first time that you played? You said.
The first time I got it, the first time I played it, I really didn't even like it. I didn't like standard mode. I just played one saber. I just played one saber. I felt like standard mode was like you don't feel like hitting the blocks. One saber is like you have the action.
Like you feel like Zoro or something, or like what do you like? You want a fence?
No, like I felt like standard mode. You couldn't like hit the block really hard. You had to like fence it or something.
I understand.
Oh, so you were bad. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was bad. I mean, I'm still bad, but less so.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that's a good question. Is kind of where would you guys rank yourselves as players? But not only like what is your numerical value on the ranking team that some of you are part of ranking maps for, but what would you rank yourself as a player?
Right
I'm a
now,
4-digit.
4-digit. Right now, I'm really bad. I don't know. Like back in the day, I was alright, but I think I was just good relative to other players. I actually don't think I'm that good. So I'm like 500 right now is my score saber rank, and that's probably pretty accurate. So, or maybe even lower. I don't even know anymore. So.
I think that if you don't even play ranked songs, that's probably you've probably fallen down quite a bit. If you're not, you know what I mean? Like, it's competitive to get. People are trying to get there.
Yeah.
So
well, I have like 50 plus ranked songs unplayed. So.
that is lots.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And then Pug, what about you? What is your rank currently? What was your highest rank?
My current rank is 310. Just I like PP farmed like a month ago because I was part of the British tournament, and I needed to get a higher seed because I was going to be like the lowest seed, and that isn't good.
Yeah, that's not fun.
I peaked at rank 11 during PPV1, like when it just came out. So like ranks just came out. I had like a bunch of songs already played, and then it just boosted me to rank 11.
Very cool, because you've been around since like the dawn of time.
Yeah.
What about so you guys know, what about you, Stenis? What's your rank? What's your current rank?
So
Do you actually play? Do any of you actually play now?
I don't think so.
I don't play competitively anymore, but I'm like 260. My peak was like 150 or something. But like I don't look at global rank anymore. I just look at like the country rank. I look at the country rank. I'm 4th in Sweden. I'm chill.
Yeah, global rank and country rank for America is like the same. So
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. It's actually kind of ridiculous. So, is that because you guys are doing more with Cube community, do you think? Because I know that, like, I was talking to Danny about it, who is in chat, who is also one of the founders and staff of Cube community. They got so busy with editing and taking in videos and things like that, that actually playing the game became more and more difficult.
Did you cut out?
Oh, hello? Can you hear me?
Oops.
Yeah, now I can.
Yeah, we're good now.
Weird. How long was I gone
Right.
for?
What
Just a
was the
second.
question?
But basically, do you feel like working on Cube Community is taking away from how often you play? Do you feel like you play less because you're working on Cube Community more?
I think when we made Q Community, the 3 main people, me, Amma, and Danny, it was at the point where we just didn't want to play anymore. So we just did Cube Community instead.
Yeah.
So that happened before for you guys. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think at first it was definitely a case of like, because like me, Danny, and Pug, when we were playing like ranked stuff and actually like trying, we were all like top 20 around there, top 30 for like the longest time. Like I mean I was top 10 for the entirety of PPV1, but then PPV2 came out, and then we started playing less, and then Like me personally, I got unemployed around then, and I was like espresso depresso mode, so I didn't want to play. And then we started Cube Community, and I think at first we were all way too busy to care about playing. But now I think there's different reasons for everyone. But at first, 100%, like we didn't play because Cube Community.
I definitely feel like I'm not busy. It's just like I absorb huge amounts of Beat Saber content every single day because I edit videos, and it just like it drains my need to play Beat Saber.
Which I think is actually really interesting, because when I watch people stream Twitch, or on Twitch stream Beat Saber, it makes me want to play. Like, it's actually really dangerous, because I need to stream, and you know, I'm playing for several hours in the evening. And it's like I really shouldn't play for an hour in the morning, but yeah, like watching Twitch or, you know, watching other people play Beat Saber makes me want to play. So it's actually interesting that editing videos kind of, yeah, it makes a lot of people in chat want to play as well. But I've never edited Beat Saber videos, so I don't know if it would be different for me doing something like that.
Now, when I say edit Beat Saber videos, it's like 15 minutes, put in a player card, export, and then send it in.
No, don't tell them that.
Oh shit, no, fuck, sorry.
It takes a long time, guys.
It is so much work. Okay, so when you do... Oh, go ahead.
The huge amount of work comes like organizing people.
Yeah.
Because like we have a schedule, but it messes up sometimes.
Organizational tasks are like 90+% of the work.
Well, yeah, and people don't realize how much work it is when you're organizing people and when you're organizing large projects. And it's like, that's why a lot of times when you become a project manager, you don't do the projects that you're managing. Like, you just don't have the time to do it anymore. You know what I mean?
It's one of the things that, like, when I was, like, when I first started, like, working at real jobs, I would always get confused, like you said, with project managers or, like, leaders of groups or whatever the situation was. Like, they don't do the work that they manage, and I never understood that. I was like, this is insane. Like, why? How? But then I started doing this, and I was like, you don't have time. Like, you gotta tell other people what to do. Like, you don't have time to do it. You gotta make sure everyone else is doing it.
It needs to be that when you absolutely have to be the one jumping in to edit, you do it because you know how, but you have to have people in place that, you know what I mean, are doing those things on a regular basis so that you can do some of the other fun stuff that you guys plan, like tournaments and events and giveaways and running Discords and things like that, answering questions. Otherwise, what is Cube Community, like at the crux of everything, can't grow and like will not be healthy, right? Because it's more than just the videos that people are watching on YouTube.
Yeah, and I feel like editing in particular, like, because we have some editors here with like Stenis and Pug used to do a lot of editing too. Like, I sometimes, like, I feel I don't want to say like I feel bad, but like it's kind of like I do kind of feel a little bad for all the editors and stuff, because it's like they really are just doing like a moderately mundane task, like just collecting the videos, editing them, making sure they go on the channel. But like it's like a task that has to get done so that, like you said, like other things can happen in the background. Like, if, for example, like if me and Pug and Danny were doing videos all day every day, nothing would happen. It would just be a YouTube channel. So you do need
just
those.
like to point out, Amma has not touched a single unedited video on Community.
That is correct. I have never edited a video.
I've never edited any of my YouTube videos either. So I mean, I feel you. Like, you have. That's so weird. I don't know why it's doing that. I've never edited any of my videos either on YouTube. You have to let go of things. You have to delegate. I used to be really bad at that, actually.
Yeah, you gotta reach a point where you have to understand that, like, you might want to do something, or you might feel like you have to do something, but you just can't. You have to just, like, put other people on it and say, like, hey, you're the guy. Like, that's how. And
you have to trust them too, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to put people in that you trust, and then you have to let them make choices and do a good job in the stuff that they do. So yeah, also somebody in chat asked, and we went a little bit out of order. So we're talking a little bit about Cube Community. And for those of you that don't know, Cube Community is a community within Beat Saber. It's kind of a sub-community of Beat Saber. They have a YouTube channel. They run tournaments. We have some of the founding members and editors and staff that are there. They've run one of the largest Beat Saber tournaments to date, and they are also running another one tomorrow. It starts tomorrow, and it's tomorrow and Sunday. Clouder and myself will both be casting during it.
Yep.
So we're just talking about that. We're talking about community stuff. We're talking about the tournament. We're talking to them about how that got started. So let's talk about that. How did that get started? You said we talked about it very briefly, but if you want to go over it again with a little bit more detail.
Like the origin story of Cube Community.
Yeah, the origin story.
Here
All
comes
right.
Grandpa's stories.
Okay, so basically how it first started is, so our first video was posted on like December 27th or something, or 28th or 29th. It was one of those. It was like very late December. That was our first video. But it had been a working theory since probably August, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, like 4 months prior to that is when we were first thinking about it. And it was originally called Block People.
I remember that because of Circle People, right?
Yes, we
Okay.
pretty much like just wanted to copy, because I think it was like me and Atomic were sitting in voice chat one day in BSPD, and we were like, man, like, why doesn't Beat Saber, like, why doesn't Beat Saber have like a Circle People yet? Like, it should have that, like for the future. And we were like, let's just call it Block People. So that was the original working name, and we made the YouTube channel, and it was called, if you ever looked up Block People, youtube.com Block People, you would have found us for the first few months.
Amazing.
But I think
Wait.
And very important advice there. That should be a thing that exists, and then you guys made it a thing that exists. So if you're ever sitting around in Discord and you say that is a thing that should be, there is a possibility that you can make that thing a thing that is. Sorry, what were you gonna say? Somebody was about to say something to Stenis.
Yeah, I remember the channel trailer. It is like Osu starting, and then you're
Yeah.
like, nah, just kidding.
I literally started with OC because we were such a
It's great.
blatant copy of Circle People, and like I wanted to embrace that because I thought it was funny. And actually, when we made the Discord public at first, like in December, the founder for Circle People came in to our Discord like right away. He was like one of the first like 50 people in the Discord, and we made jokes about it. And he made like a post on Osu Reddit where it was like, "Hey, let me copy your homework," and he's like, "All right, don't make sure it's not too similar." And he posted the channel description.
Yeah.
It was really funny. We had like a really good back and forth. It was totally cool. Their staff from Circle People gave us the list of music that they use for copyright and stuff, so that we would have an idea and we wouldn't make the same mistakes.
Weren't they kind of going through some stuff right around then as well, with like copyright and strikes and getting shut down and potentially and things
Yeah.
like that right around that time?
Right after they gave us that list, they got a strike, and their channel was going to be automatically terminated, and they
Yep.
couldn't file a counter complaint.
Yeah, I remember that. It was right
really
around
bad.
that time.
But yeah, that was they were really cool about it. We totally like ripped right off of Circle People, but they were really chill about it, so it was nice.
Which, for those of you that don't know, Circle People is basically the cube community of Osu, which is, you know, the circle game, and so we slice cubes and they click circles.
Yeah, it's Circle People is like so we do like videos on like top Beat Saber plays, like interesting Beat Saber plays, whatever. Osu does, or Circle People does that for Osu. They've been doing it for years. So we wanted, that's when me and Atomic were talking, like we wanted that for Beat Saber, because like why shouldn't it exist? That's how we made it. But,
And Zero is saying he actually came up with the name Cube Community.
yeah, because when we first named it Block People, we were like, hold on, like come on, bro. So
Yeah, we post really interesting content. Like, I love fidget spinners.
But yeah, we had like everyone in BSPD give us like name suggestions. Cube Community was, I think, one of the best ones. So
I love fidget spinners. Very cool. And what are some of the other ways that you guys are involved in the community? We're gonna talk about Cube Community more, but what are some other ways that you guys are involved? We've got some ranking team members as well.
Yeah, I'm on the ranking team. I wasn't on the first wave of people that were invited. Well, I guess I wasn't on the initial chosen staff, but I was on the first like expansion wave of ranking team members. So
Yeah, you got in quick.
yeah. Well, I did.
Umbra
I
wanted
messaged-
you from the get-go.
Yeah, I messaged Umbra after the first people got chosen, and I just let him know. I was like, I don't know like how you pick people, but if like you need someone, like I'm interested. So, and then a couple months later, or however long it was, he messaged me about it.
That's another important thing too, is I get asked by people a lot, like, how do I do this? Or, you know, I wish that this would happen. I wish that I could cast a thing. And it's like, just reach out. If that's something you're interested in, like, reach out to people. Don't wait for people to come to you and ask. Yeah, just be like, yo, I do that to Danny and Emma all the time. Like, hey, if you ever want anybody to do this, or like, how can I become a part of this? And just ask. Like, I wouldn't have casted this tournament this weekend if I hadn't, because I didn't know that they had the sign up sheet. And there was a sign up sheet, and you know, you could fill it out, and then they let you sign up for your slots, which I almost missed again. So I have one slot that I'm casting tomorrow. But yeah, like, just reach out and ask people, because you never know.
Yeah, I
Just
think-
keep in mind, don't try to be annoying or like douchey, because I've been that in the past and I've learned from my mistakes.
Oh no, definitely don't be pushy, but like, let people know if you're interested in doing something, you know, for sure. Because a lot of times when people are thinking of like, man, I need help, who should I ask? They don't know who they can turn to, and
You cut out again.
that's so weird. I wonder if it's happening to stream. Is it happening to stream or just Discord? Let me move this. So I'm casting so stream is fine, it's just Discord. Very weird.
Yeah.
I am casting the first slot tomorrow. So as soon as the tournament starts, I am casting the first round, and then that's it. And then Clouder's casting tomorrow as well, quite a bit. And then the second day, I'm casting near the end of the day for 2 slots. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I'm with you with one of those slots.
yeah, on the second day, I get to cast with you, and then Cosmos gave me a slot as well, because I was only in one on either day. I'm really bad at signing up for casting spots.
I'll make sure to DM you a bunch next
Yes,
time.
yes, please tell me. I'm not good at it, because I like do this, like, I check all the Discords like once. This is gonna sound horrible, like, but like once every 3 days or like once a week, and I try and read everything.
Yeah, I check like every single day, multiple times a day.
I think Xander and Puds are both casting a lot, and I think they both don't mind if you take
Yeah,
spots. so
Xander
you should
totally
just-
doesn't mind if you take a couple slots from him. He's casting the entire second day.
I saw that. I was like, boy, you need to like. It's not as bad when there's 3 casters, but when there's 2 and your like co-caster goes to the bathroom or
water.
goes to eat food, like 30 seconds is forever. It feels like forever when you're alone.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's so bad.
To touch on the get involved thing, real quick. Like Beat Saber is still a small community, right? And anybody can start doing anything. Like, we weren't some like heavily experienced group of people that started Q community. We were just like a bunch of like dudes in a voice chat that were like, hey, we should do this thing, and we did it. Like or like editors that like Stenis was just like, hey, I have Premiere Pro and I use it, and we were like, sick. Come help us. And now he's staff, so like
I remember one day like Danny was in a VC, and I was like, shit, that's the editor for Cube Community. I should tell him that I have Premiere Pro and I want to edit. And he was like, yeah, okay.
yeah,
And
that
then
was
later on, I was like in the tournament. I was staff in a tournament. And
Yeah, the
I
whole
think
reason
that
I'm
sold
freaking
it.
on Score Saber on VSMG is literally because I constantly offered help. Otherwise, that never would have happened.
Yeah.
I think it's also important to remember that it is a lot of work, so don't.
What?
Cut
It's-
out for us again.
It's weird. It's only for Discord. I want to point out that it is also a lot of work. So I know a lot of people will like stretch themselves really thin. Don't do that. Don't put yourself into things that you're not like interested in doing, because you know, if you want to be a part of it, expect to be putting forth the effort, right? Because I know you guys all work really hard.
Want,
Yeah, exactly.
which is most places.
Yeah, I mean we've had our run-ins with people that just want it for like titles and stuff, and then didn't do any work. So we've definitely had that. But if you want to do the work, there's no reason to not get involved in community stuff because
Definitely.
chances are the person doing it or heading it up or whatever needs help. So
Beat Saber is still a very early growing community. There's plenty of places to do things.
And it's so much more than just like Beat Saber. We've been talking about that a lot lately, like
Yeah,
VR in general, and even to real life. Like I know a lot of the community. We just, for those of you that don't know in chat, we just got back from Anime Expo, and I was there. Amanatsu was there. Pug was there. Stenis, were you there? You were not there.
No.
No, we had some other.
I can't play out.
We had. I mean, Rog was there from Sweden, and he's 19, I think.
18.
No, he's 19. And then, but Cooling was there. Cooling's 17. Yeah. People.
Also, I don't have a job.
feels bad.
Feels bad, man. But yeah, like so many people from all over the world. Like it was like a kind of a global big deal. Like it's something I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life. Like I've never had, you know what I mean? Like so much crazy stuff happened to me while I was there. I had my first earthquake. I met like 40 people. Everybody's gonna remember.
Memory.
Do you remember where you were? I remember I was streaming when it happened.
Okay, so the earthquake, the bigger one. We were all in Beat House, and it just happened, and the floor like shook a little bit, and we were all like, "Hey!"
We were live. It was my stream anniversary, my 1-year stream anniversary, and Elite was over with Golfu, and then like our whole house was there, and we were playing Guitar Hero. We were streaming, and I just remember thinking like that he was really keeping rhythm because the house felt like it was shaking because my cock was playing Beat Saber, and Golfu goes, "Why is everybody bobbing?" Right, and we all know Golfu's state of mind during all of Anime Expo. So I was like, I think Hammer said like, "Is this an earthquake?" And we were all just like, "Oh my god, I think it's an earthquake." So I have it highlighted, so I'll never forget it. But it was just like, not just that, it was like meeting all these people that I spend so much time with. I got to meet like all of my moderators almost, and just like spending a week with them. I was very concerned about everybody for a week, but like that, it was really cool. So. The community is growing. There's lots of stuff you can do. There's so much you can do to help.
I'll forever be sad that I couldn't go.
Next year?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm fighting to get to next year.
If I can actually get a job.
I'm gonna be so pushy to owners of jobs of anything. I will get a job and I will come there.
I will do another house. I'll do another house next year. My goal is to go to TwitchCon EU this year. My secondary goal is to bring Clouder with me to TwitchCon EU. We'll go together. And then yeah, so this month is also Oculus Connect that I'm going to, Dragon Con. So yeah, there's just like there's tons of opportunities. So yeah, what else? What made you decide to do a house for Anime Expo? Speaking of, while we're talking about that.
I think a lot of us were it was mostly like BSPD at first. For reference, anyone that's watching that doesn't know what BSPD is, it used to be a Discord where all like the top players got invited to, but now it's just like that doesn't exist anymore. Like it's just a bunch of people that are friends pretty much.
It started as the invitational Discord, right?
Yeah.
And then it was like shortened for Beat Saber Pro Discord for anybody that doesn't know.
Yeah, so it's not like a prestigious thing to be part of anymore. It's just like a group of people that became friends through Beat Saber.
A group of dorks.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but so now like it was a lot of us were just talking, and they're like a lot of us like anime because Beat Saber is a big weeb circle jerk. But so we're just like, oh, we should go to like someone just mentioned like, oh, I'm going to go to Anime Expo, and then a lot of us were just like, oh, like we should all go like together. So we just like organized somehow a 25-person house. So
and then mine ended up being, we had 15 people in mine, which was not supposed to be that many people. I had told myself that was not going to happen. And then we also did a barbecue with both houses, and I think we had almost 40 people in that house. It was close because people brought like friends and relatives and stuff. We might have had 40 people in the house. I was actually impressed at how clean and everything. Jeez. Yeah, it was like 40 of the Beat Saber and streamer. There was a lot. It was a lot of people that were there. Everybody was there. Alma was there. Pug was there. I was there. Hammer was there. Faith was there. I'm looking at chat. Mike Hawk was there. Laurel was there. I don't know who else is in chat because I
The
wasn't.
barbecue was crazy. Everybody was there.
Yeah, pretty much everybody was there. It was nuts. Cool was Cooling there. Yeah, Orange was there. No, Orange didn't go because I ended up having to take his picture separately. And I was stressed out about it. But Elite was there, and Ploopy cooked for 40 people. He cooked hot dogs and hamburgers like a hero. So yeah, next year it'll be fun too. I think next year will be really fun. Did you guys enjoy it? What did you think of it? Pug, Ama.
It was a blast.
Yeah, it was really good. A lot of us at our house, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of us at our house bought 4-day passes, and most of us did go every day. But towards the later days, we didn't really stay there the whole time. We would just go down to Artist Alley and buy stuff that we forgot to buy, and then I think on the last day,
keychains.
Yeah, Pug bought 50 keychains. On the last day, me and Cora, we hovered around the Azur Lane line for 2 hours because you couldn't get into it. It was impossible. And then
yeah, Laurel got the good cover.
Yeah, Cora got in line at some point, and I gave him money to buy the mystery pillow cover for me too. So he bought 2, and he got both the ones that he didn't want. So, but I think he ended up trading Whoops because Whoops got 2 of the good ones. So
Yeah, he got 2. I was very jealous. Yeah, we got 4 in our group, and we got 1 of the good ones. I have one of the bad ones for sale, still Smile, if anybody is interested, before I put it on eBay. Anime Expo exclusive. But yeah, it was so much fun. It was so cool. What else?
Yeah, bad in quotations. It's not necessarily bad.
Yeah.
It depends on what characters you like, but the general consensus was that the
other one was just very pog. Very. And then the last one was the other one was just less pog, but it was still quite good.
I kind of play Azur Lane.
I play it too much. It's a
I used to
problem.
play it a lot. I don't play as much as anymore.
I don't really play it much.
I saw that Amma tweeted something about Azur Lane. I'm like, wait, you play Azur Lane? And he's like, no.
I posted some pictures of I bought Azur Lane stuff at AX, and then I think I posted it, and Stenis was like, "Oh, you play Azur Lane?" I was like, "Nah, I don't."
Xander plays it because of AX. He started at AX. Sion plays it quite a bit. Sion was at our house. Yeah, it was so much. Are you gonna do it next year? Are you planning on it?
AX, yeah, I think a lot of us want to go. I don't know how many people will end up going again.
Probably
but
be less, but
it's
there's
I think
group
people
wanting to go.
There'll
I
probably
think it'll be
be
more.
I don't think so. A lot of people could barely get there.
I think a lot of people in the community in general want to go, but I don't know about our group. I think it'll be less for us personally.
And I think the people that could barely get there, in a year, maybe they'll be in a better place if it's something that they know about,
Yeah. I know there's a lot of people that want to save up for it. Like Stenis was saying, he's gonna save up for it, or Cooling if he can go, he's gonna have to save up for it, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
that
far away.
The only experience I'm interested in is meeting everyone who I've met through the internet, because I've never done that in real life.
I like anime, but I'm not that giant into it.
Kind of same, actually.
There were people there that weren't they really weren't into anime. Waxed in our house, so he's been watching more of it now. But when he went, he wasn't super into it or anything like that. It was definitely just the gaming, the hydrating and hanging out with people.
Yeah, I think it was definitely the focus wasn't really anime for most people. Even if we were really into anime, this still wasn't really the focus of it. It was more just hanging out.
And then there were people that were very into anime that were very excited. It was all sides of the spectrum.
Yep.
And also Anime Expo is I might be able to do it without a job, but I'm very maybe not, because I graduate next year, and in Sweden we have graduation trips and graduation stuff. It's we get prizes and stuff. Not from like the school, but like our parents.
That's cool.
So like I might be able to get there as a graduation trip.
Well, I'm definitely gonna try next year as well. So let's talk about I could talk about Anime Expo for like we should just do like an Anime Expo
A whole
block
stream.
talk. Yeah, like because I could talk about it to you guys for like an hour, 2 hours at least. So let's talk about Cube community. So what does it take at this point to keep your community running? How big is Cube community?
The amount of people that are in the Discord is almost 1,300. And we don't have
To keep it running?
Yeah, to keep it
What
running,
do you
and-
mean? Like, do you
Yeah.
mean keeping the Discord running, the YouTube running? Because if it's the YouTube, you just
Everything,
need 4
so-
editors and 2 people.
So you've got
ba-
it's basically everything. Is it? Hey, it's Atomic. Is how many people do you have working on the YouTube? How many people are editing videos? How many people are moderating your Discord? Basically everything. What's it take?
We have 4 editors, so Stenis, Fatbean, Zoop, Muffin, and Britmob.
Yep.
Me and Danny can also edit videos, but we mainly upload. Recently, Stenis has got into uploading videos. Amma just sometimes uploads the video. He mainly does Discord.
I upload the video if it's very last minute because I have like gigabit internet. So if they're like, we need a video up in 4 minutes, I'm like, oh, okay. So I do it, but usually they're on top of it. So
We've had like a little bit of a like we had some problems during the last days. I don't know what caused it, but some miscommunication, but it's fine.
Yeah.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
it's like you said, there's just a handful of editors right now because realistically we're doing 1 to 2 videos a day, so they can usually handle all that every week.
Which is quite a
Gee.
lot. I think that's quite a bit. 1 to 2 videos
Yeah.
a day is a lot.
It's I mean like Stenis said earlier, it's really not that much that goes into it. Like it's as silly as it might seem, like we're putting out videos all the time. Like I mean, I don't know, Stenis and Pug can probably talk about this more, but it probably takes them less than 30 minutes to do 1 video. So
Yeah,
It's
you
about
can
15
get out a
minutes.
video in like 10 to 15 minutes, depending on
Yeah.
how quick.
Now that's depending on if the player card exists.
right.
Like we make our own player cards with After Effects.
Yeah, Kenny
Thank
made
you,
a-
Random Kenny.
Kenny made
Thank
a
you.
template which he gave to us,
Yeah,
which looks
and
very nice.
I've been trying to understand it for like weeks now, kind of getting the hang of it. But I like render out the player cards, and it takes like 20 minutes per player card. So that's the like only thing slowing it down.
Yeah, it also depends too. I see you guys talk a lot about like if the player is talking a lot during the video, sometimes we don't put all of that in, or if there's like pauses and things like that, we try to keep it as clean as possible. Or if there's like text to speech, I know that usually gets overwritten with audio, so that takes a couple more minutes for them to figure out. But
So that was going to be one of my other questions. So start to finish, how does something get submitted to Cube Community to become a video? How does it get chosen? What do you guys look for? I mean, obviously you guys can edit out a lot, so I don't want people to feel discouraged from submitting things because you guys can do a lot of stuff. So tell
I think
us
Paul
about
can
that.
explain this.
Well, if you want to submit a video, join the Discord. There's a submission channel with a Google Forms link, and you can upload your video to a Google Drive or YouTube, and then we'll review it. When we're reviewing it, we're looking for quality, I guess accuracy, depending on the map. Like difficulty, like if it's a really difficult map, so like challenge maps, like Jack gets a lot of videos because of that. And yeah, it's just got to look nice and like be impressive, really. And then we have a numbering system from 1 to 5, 1 being the highest, 5 being the lowest. And then once those have been done, we move them into a separate sheet which categorizes them, and then we just randomly or sometimes deliberately pick videos into a schedule for that week.
I would just like to say the description that your submission has actually plays a pretty big role. We look at every submission. It's just like the description catches our eye a lot better. So like
Yes,
if you want
have a
if you
good
want to like
description, you'll have a higher chance of getting picked. And if you actually make the description of the video your description with the title included, you're pretty set, in my opinion.
yeah, pretty much.
And so talking, text to speech, things like that, not a big deal. You guys can handle that. You can delete it.
Yeah, we download the audio and go over it in like post-production.
Yeah.
And so including all of that, where
So,
it's so weird. I don't know why it's saying that. I wonder if I put Discord as a focus. I don't know. So including all that, like looking at the submission, grading it, editing it, and making it available for upload. That entire procedure, that whole thing. If you have to do a player card, which is an additional 20 minutes, you still think it's under an hour to do a video for everything?
I mean, if we already selected a video for the week, which we have a schedule for every editor, and we sign up and stuff. So we just download the file, see if the sound is okay. If it's not, we put in audio. We add the player card, and then we export it. And that takes like 15 minutes.
I think as someone who doesn't edit videos, and when I still watch I have every channel in Cube Community unmuted, by the way. So I'm always watching. If you think I'm not looking at Cube Community Discord, you're crazy. So I'm always looking in the video channel because like I want to keep up with everyone's doing. And as someone who doesn't do video editing, I usually see them like, so at the beginning of the week on like a Sunday or Monday or whatever day they do it, they'll go through and pick out the week's worth of videos, which is like 10 to 14 videos or something.
It's 9 videos in total, like a minimum,
okay.
and a max of 14.
Yeah. So they get all the selection process done, from what I can tell, in under 30 minutes. They pick all the videos, and then they distribute. They basically just have like a sign up system, like they said, where editors can sign up to edit videos, and they edit them and they send them in throughout the week before the video is due to go on the channel. And I would probably say that it is as efficient as it's ever been right now, and it probably does take like total amount of time per person is definitely under 1 hour per video.
I would like to say, like in the beginning when I first joined, I think I was one of the first like new editors to join. Correct me if I'm wrong.
We were the second set of editors we got after Sook and some random person who didn't do anything.
Yeah, they both no longer edit for us. So.
But like you kind of had like a schedule system set up, but it was really bad.
Yeah, it's because it was me and Danny, and we already knew what us two were doing.
Yeah, it's definitely progressed, because like it was literally like me, Danny, and Pug like adding each other in a Discord channel for doing videos. Like it was there's no like process basically. And the documents,
this is the ground roots right here.
Yeah, the documents were all like messed up, and no one could tell where anything was. And if we ever invited anyone in, it would have been a mess. But then when Stenis and the other editors came, Stenis made it a point to make sure it was organized for everyone, and now it's like very efficient.
It basically changed like every week. The sheet just changed every week with new designs every time.
Yeah, Stenis and Muffin have been the biggest impact on the editing process and how we efficiently do it.
Do you feel like you need more editors? Do you feel like you're looking for anybody, or?
Danny actually asked that today, and
yeah,
with the amount of people we have right now, it holds up to the amount of content we produce. So we aren't looking for any editors.
So 4 is the magic number, and you're doing 1 to 2 a day, several a week. Very cool.
Yeah.
But there is not just that. It's not just the YouTube that you guys do. You are also producing a number of other things. You have a Twitch channel, which you do stuff on sometimes, including a tournament that is starting tomorrow. So tell us a little bit about the tournament.
It is a 64-player tournament, and there's two special things about it, basically. Players will pick and ban maps until there is one map left, and that single map that is left becomes the tiebreaker for that match. And we also have the grand finals will be a complete sight read. Players will not know what they're picking, or they will know the song they're picking, but they would never seen it before, so adds a new level of
I think that's really
difficulty.
cool. I actually really like that.
It's something that Sound Voltex does, SDVX, when they do their like world tournaments and stuff. They have sight read grand finals, and Pug did a lot of the organizing for this tournament because I did most of the for last time, so he did this one. And obviously we're both like super into SDVX recently, so I think that probably played a part in why he chose that.
We've actually talked about that. I've talked about that with Hammer quite a bit when we have energetic debates about competitive Beat Saber. I'll just describe it like that.
We cut out again.
Oh, I said when we have energetic debates about Beat
Sure.
Saber,
Oh, yeah.
I talk to Hammer about it a lot because when there's a lot of like PP songs in a song pool and things like that, when somebody has had the time or put in the time grinding a song for hours and hours, I don't necessarily think that makes them better than another person. And then there's just so many issues
Yeah, for sure.
with VR competition, because not just that, but like hardware. If somebody loses tracking, and just how frustrating it is to try and find like really who's better than who, and like how difficult it is to make fair competition. What are some of the ways that you guys are dealing with that, with like things like tracking issues or connection issues?
Yeah, so I mean, in the first tournament that we did, and it might sound like kind of boisterous to say this, but I think we pretty much, with the last tournament that we did, we set the standard for what all future tournaments should be. And BSMG kind of reflected that with what they did with theirs. They changed up a few things, but it was heavily based on how ours was.
Yeah, you were a big inspiration on it.
Yeah.
So it run really well.
So yeah, I think that, again, not to sound like egotistical or anything, but I think that when we did the tournament last time, my main focus was just making sure that it wasn't bad and that it had things that people had been asking for, like a larger song pool, like with multiple different mappers and different styles of songs, and not just like whatever was popular at the time or PP songs and stuff. And that was like the number one thing. We had over 100 songs in the first tournament in the map pool. But like you're saying though, with hardware, it's hard to find a good balance, because so like we do one replay for tracking per person per round. So if you get a tracking error or something on one of the songs, you're allowed to replay the song. Both players can replay, and then you take the higher score from both plays. It's hard to do more than that, because then you approach levels of just replay, and no one's getting anything done, and it just becomes like it's too much to handle. So sometimes you get situations where a player has multiple tracking errors in one round, and they do unfortunately like get a loss because of it most of the time.
It's so sad to see, right? When it does happen, it's just like, ugh.
That's just kind of the state of VR right now. And we do as much as we can while being responsible with our time. But it's just tough. There's no really good answer to that right now. So
yeah, and I think that's kind of the solution that everybody has put forth, is having a replay. And I personally haven't run into a lot of issues with it in the competitive world, but I do know that allowing for that and then having some rounds be like best of 5 makes it really difficult to schedule rounds.
Having some what? Sorry, cut out.
Having some of your rounds be best of 5 really can kind of suck with the scheduling, because you kind of have to allow at least 25 minutes per match in case both people use their tracking replay. But then most matches really only take about 5 to 7 minutes, you know what I mean? And and then it's over, and then your casters are just talking for 25 minutes, and it's
yeah. Scheduling is tough. I think that's the one big thing that I did in the first tournaments that we ran, that was a lot different than previous tournaments, because in a lot of previous tournaments, you would basically you would stream every game. First of all, there's a lower amount of people. It was 16 people usually in the tournament, or like 32 at most, and they would stream every single match. And whenever the match was done, they would just go to the next one. Where with mine, with Cube Communities that I organized for the first one, I had a set amount of time for every round, because it just kept things more organized and everyone knew exactly when they were playing. And it does make for a much longer tournament. Like the tournament days are like 7 to 8 hours long, but you're only playing, a total amount of time of maybe 1.5 hours. So you get the players get a lot of downtime, which is really good for them. But it's kind of, like you said, it's kind of weird for casters, because you might have a 30-minute round that only takes 7 minutes. And
that can very frequently happen, right? You're just like,
yeah.
And then with the song pools, if people make the song pools too small, then it's like, hey, are you guys ready to talk about Black Betty for another 5 hours? Because that's all anybody is picking. And it's like, how long can you talk about this one song
Yeah,
for?
because there's pretty common trends in what people pick and ban.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, is trying to make it so that doesn't happen, so that there's not like a really big skewing of difficulty. It's like everybody wants to pick this song, everybody's going to ban this song, and then you're literally watching Nuclear Star for 6.5 hours or however long that round goes.
Yeah, it's definitely, timing is one of those things. I don't know. I think we did it the best way we could with accounting for everything. I think that there probably exists a better way to do it, but now everyone has just like we did it that way the first time. BSMG did it the same way with theirs, and we're doing it again. And I think it's because it's difficult to find a more exact amount of time to allot to rounds, that we just kind of default back to what we chose, because it just works. So.
And I mean, ESL does it the same way. They give you the 1 hour time slot for your games, and then when those games are over, it's advertisements and casters are talking to each other, or if there's technical difficulties, everybody is Amanatsu. That is what's happening. I was just double checking Cube Community, and I just looked over.
Yes, everyone is Amanatsu.
But yeah, that is definitely one of the challenges with VR and with working with like equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did you like that advertisements, Zoro? So
Advertisements.
The tournament is tomorrow. Where can people watch it? What time does it start? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I'll let Pug explain more about it.
Hold on, let me bring up the info.
Reading on the
Tournament
script.
starts at 5 p.m. UTC, 6 p.m. CET, 1 p.m. EST, 12 p.m. CST, 10 a.m. PST, 2 a.m. JST. And it will be running from 5 p.m. UST till 1 a.m. the next day, with matches being in intervals of 1 hour. I can't really think of much more.
What about prizes? What are the prizes?
Prizes. Let me grab that real quick. It's actually, in total, the prize pool for the tournament is $2,000, split between 8 places. And
Yeah, it was something like first place is like 600. Also, there's Score Saber badges again this time, right? The first.
There are 3 Score Saber badges for first, second, and third. First place gets $600. Second place gets $400. Third place gets $300. Fourth place gets $250. Fifth and sixth place gets $125, and seventh and eighth get $100. So if you're top 3, you're getting a lot of money and a Score Saver badge. And if you're top 4 to 8, you're getting a decent amount of money.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
we had a very generous donation for this tournament, so
That's awesome.
It was very, very nice. So this, I don't know if this will be a normal thing, like this amount of money, because it is a lot. But that we were lucky enough to have a very nice donation this time. So
did the donator say your name?
No,
so I asked them about it, and they didn't really care if they were mentioned or not. They're not in it for that, so I don't want to announce it unless they come out with it like they want to be named. So
Very cool. Kay is like, forgive my wrists. Yeah, people are going to be hurting tomorrow. I'm excited.
There is a special
With
first round
everyone's wrists.
for Oddloop versus KLK, which is the first match being streamed. As they are both speed players, we're gonna let them flex a bit with how fast they can go. They're gonna have a special speeder round between those two, which will be the 3 maps are. Let me quickly find what they are. They are Evacuate the Mosh Pit, I Love Fidget Spinners on FS, and a song name I don't even want to try and pronounce.
Ijiperia Fihi. Yeah.
It's
I will be casting that, I believe. I will
Yes,
be
you
there
will.
for that. So I'll be casting your first show match, Kay. I'm excited.
yep, that's like a special first round, and then subsequent rounds will follow the map pool. But because of the unique situation that both of those players are in, we decided to let them do something a little different. So they both agreed to it.
Do whatever they want. Yeah. So that is exciting, and it will be on their Twitch channel. So make sure that you guys are checking that out. I will be watching it. I work tomorrow, but I'll watch until I leave for work, and then Sunday is the finals of that. So really exciting. Hi, Scary.
Yeah, we'll be like I said, the tournament total, because of the amount of rounds and amount of time that it takes, it will be live for about 7 or 8 hours. So even if you can't watch it, at some point we will be on a lot of the day. So
And so, because I know people are going to ask me this when both tomorrow and today, how do you find out about tournaments? How did people sign up for this? How, if I want to participate in Beat Saber tournaments, what do I need to do?
so yeah, now go ahead.
For the QQ2 ones, there's a special tournament info role which you can assign yourself in the role assignment tab. Apparently, people do not know about that, so get yourself that role so you can find out when future tournaments are happening. We also recently introduced a tournament promotion sheet where tournament hosts can sign up and have their tournament promoted, so tournament info will be pinged for that as well.
That's really cool. I actually didn't know about that. So, like, if I was hosting a tournament and I wanted more people to hear about it, I could let you guys know and you would advertise it.
Yes, you could
Yeah.
fill out
Very
the
cool.
form.
There's no one's really doing it yet. It's probably also just because there's not really any other tournaments going on. But our submission channel on Discord is more than just videos. There's a couple different things in there. One of them is the tournament promotion. Like, we'll shout you out at tournament info so you can get as much exposure as we can give you. So
Very cool.
Poggers.
Oh, and Twitter. Do you guys use Twitter? Is that how you
Yes,
get your
yeah.
Cube community news, Cosmos?
We have got a dedicated person running our Twitter called Cosmos. She does a wonderful job, and before we had her, we were lacking on the Twitter side, so she's done God's work from what I see.
Yeah.
yeah, I still poke around on the Twitter sometimes, but Cosmos does basically all the work on there now, which is nice because we would forget about posting new videos and things like that, and she does a lot of that for us now.
So 4 editors, a couple of people managing stuff like Danny Pug, Ama, and then somebody on the social media side. That's a pretty good team of people for what you guys are producing, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
I
we have
trust every single one of my editor peers.
We have a pretty reliable group of people. I think like I mentioned earlier, our editors are as good as they've ever been right now. So they are very self-efficient, and we don't have to worry about it too much. I know that for me personally, like, it's really nice because in the beginning, like I said, we only had 3 people. It was really only 2 people doing the videos, and I always had to worry about, like, we all worried about if the video was going to go up for the day, but it shouldn't have to be a worry. And it's like that now, where the video is going to go up. It's not a question of whether it is or not. So a lot of relief.
How is this, speaking of relief, how is this tournament compared to you to last tournament? Did you learn some stuff? Was it a little easier this time around? You said Pug took a lot of the work from you this time.
Yeah.
I basically did all of the work up until a few days ago, where Amma stepped in, finished grinding his mobile game. So it's been a big learning experience for me, so I now understand what it takes to run a tournament. It doesn't seem too hard. The main concern is generally the players and the map pool. If you can get those two set, I'd say you're pretty fine for a tournament.
Yeah, I think
Pug is very cute.
one of the biggest things that we now have covered pretty much is like the ground rules and operational status of how the tournament runs, which we ironed out last time. That it took much longer last time, but now we can copy paste a lot of those same processes and rules. So it's nice.
Yeah, I actually did a tournament for the birthday. It was only a 32 person, but definitely for me it was just like the people, like having coordinators and having casters and having players, like Pug said, because like they do so much, and the day of they do so much work, right? The people that help you coordinate the matches, oh my god.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
Coordinator.
yeah, I was just gonna say, thank your coordinators, thank the people tomorrow. If you are enjoying yourself competing with your peers, thank these guys for putting that on, and thank the people that are coordinating your matches and the people that are playing with you as well, because without them, you know,
tournament coordinators are the people doing all the work on the day, and they can't be thanked enough because they make the tournament run on schedule, not behind.
and they do such a good job, right? Like they're so good at it. I've like never had an issue. The only issue I actually had during my tournament was Pug didn't wake up for one of his matches. That was the only logistical problem I had.
Yeah,
you're too kind.
So that was it. I had a backup for every slot, and I didn't need it like at all because everybody was on time, and it was.
Yeah, I think Pug now understands too, even more than he did previously, I'm sure. But you can organize a tournament all you want. You can put 100, 200, 500 hours into organizing a tournament. But if the people that you put your faith into don't perform on the day, it doesn't matter. So that everyone that does coordinating and casting and make sure the tournaments run day of is beyond important.
And the production too. You know, like running Streamlabs, getting the multi-streams up. There's a lot that goes into it. So yeah, I appreciate you guys putting them together. I appreciate you guys working on the community stuff. It's obviously really important to me. It's something that I spend a lot of time on as well. So I know how much work it is. I appreciate it tremendously. And if you guys are interested in getting more involved in community, they're, like they've mentioned a couple of times, join their Discord. It's all in the Discord. Read the announcements. Don't mute the channels. Use the Discords if that's something that you're interested in getting involved in. They had in one of their channels signups to cast. If you were interested in casting, you could fill out a Google form. If you were interested in coordinating, you could fill out a Google form. And if you were interested in playing, all the information on how you could get into the tournament was all there. So make sure you read your Discords if that's something that you're interested in.
Be like Amma.
I would
Unmute
say
everything.
If you're truly interested in doing stuff, especially in Q community, at least leave the important channels unmuted. Like, you don't need notifications for them, but just, get that little white dot next to the server when something happens in announcements or in info, for example, because everything is there. We always get people come in and say, oh, I didn't know about this thing. Like, well, if you did this, you would know. So keep up to date.
If you're not going to read, then talk to people, because the reason that I find out about stuff is I bother Danny. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Do you need me for anything? Like, what are you working on? And he linked me to the thing. So yeah, pay attention, talk to people, reach out if you're interested in stuff. So we've got the tournament coming up. We just finished Anime Expo. You have everybody involved in your stuff. What about, what have you learned? And then after this question, we'll take questions from, we talked about the earthquake, Golfu. After this, we'll take questions from chat. So if you guys have any questions about Q community or to ask Amma or Pug or Stenis or myself or Clouder, you can. And Clouder will be taking over those. But what have you learned from doing Cube Community? How has it affected your real life?
I think it gives you, especially from like a more administrative standpoint, it gives you like a better idea of what's involved in managing people. I know a lot of people can probably manage a piece of work or a product, like a video, like producing a video or something, but it's a different story when you're managing people. So for me personally, it was like a people managing experience. I mean, I had done that a little bit in my real life in work and things, but it gives you a greater appreciation, especially when it's over the internet and you're not always face to face with those people. And that's like the main thing I think that I've learned.
I think for me, from Q Community, I've learned how to manage, how to keep to a schedule. I basically don't do anything in my life. I don't have a job. I just laze around on my computer, going to college every 3 days a week. So it's been pretty big for me, learning how to manage, cope with difficulties, adjusting to new things, and I guess it's just generally been better for me.
What about you, Pug?
Oh,
What?
that was Pug.
That
Yeah.
was bug.
Oh, I thought that was Stenis.
No. So Cube Community has made a huge difference in my life. Actually, I've become a lot more. How do I say? I take care of a lot more things, so I've learned how to do that, and I've grown as a person. I've met new wonderful people who I can't express how much I love you guys. Cube Community gave me like a reason to do stuff. You gave me something to do in life. And I'm super happy that I joined Cube Community.
Oh, that's so wholesome. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
There's B. B is very cute too.
Yeah, no, we are very grateful for everyone, all of our editors. Like we said earlier, Stenis, it made a big difference in the video editing process, so it's been a huge help.
Very cool. Did chat have any questions? Do you guys have any questions for Cube Community? For Papanatsu? For Pug?
The Papanatsu.
The guy that runs
Grandma
everything in
Natsu.
the Q Community.
The Cube Community.
Do you have any questions for the Cube Community? For Block people?
Who is the real Amanatsu?
Miller says hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Who do you think will win?
Um,
I'm gonna say BC Kill, Flea, or Atomic.
Yeah, pretty much same here.
I
Yeah.
think I mainly got Atomic for winning this.
I'd like to see Atomic win,
I
especially after last tournament.
I think, in my opinion, I think that Atomic is the second best player in the world, and I think even though his rank may not reflect it, I think that he's number 2. So I want to say that he'll win, but Flea is very good in tournaments. He doesn't really get nervous. He doesn't get flustered by tracking errors or like new maps or maps that he might not be proficient in or anything like that. So I think Flea is really good.
Yeah,
that
apart
kind of
from
stuff.
Beat Saber, what else do you guys play, VR or otherwise? I know Amma's been playing Final Fantasy.
Can I just finish my thought on who's gonna win?
Oh
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I definitely agree with Amma and Pug, like Flea, Atomic, and BC Kill. They definitely have like the biggest chances of winning. But you're not gonna see me like cheer for them. I'm gonna cheer for my Nordic brethren. There are some Nordic people in the tournament that I will cheer for. Yeah.
Is there anybody you think is going to win, though? Of them, is Mitchell playing? In
Just
it?
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mitchell.
Mitchell's very good. What about Saneric? Saneric's also a beast.
Seneric actually dropped out due to
Yikes.
his 5 being trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, feels bad.
Yeah, we've had a few drops.
Had over 8 drops in total.
It always happens like right at the end. It's very scary. Have you guys had a chance to play on Index at all? Anybody? Talking
I just
about
ordered my
Pretty
headset
sure.
today.
Me and Emma, I don't know about Emma, but I had a chance to play at Beat House.
I have an
And-
index, so.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
it is wonderful. Like I wish I want to hold like tournaments on just Index. Let
I'm
people
so
just play Beat Saber.
excited.
In my opinion, I actually dislike the index controllers. I much
takes
prefer
a
the
second.
Vive Bricks.
I feel like it's really comparable to the Vive once you have it all set up.
Yeah. When it comes to Beat Saber, I don't like it, but like anything else, I love it.
Mhm.
Personally. For
like I
Beat Saber, the
tried
angles are
to-
just so weird.
I tried a lot of grips on index when I had the chance, and like default grip was the best to me. I could hit one-handed jumps probably better on the Vive, but overall my
Do
act was like
you
10% lower.
what's your grip on the Vive? Oh, did I break up for you again? What's
Yeah, I
your
think
grip?
you-
Yes.
What's your grip on the Vive?
I use B grip.
I wonder
used
if you
to-
just needed
I've-
like good score Saber Taylor
I've
thing.
I've switched between all grips on Vive. I've even done claw and B grip at the same time.
Like both sabers?
What?
Like one-
Yeah, I've
Like,
done that before too.
Left is
Oh,
like
yeah.
claw, right is B.
What the fuck?
I've done
And
that.
either like even I can claw, like claw is alright. I can score higher on it than I can on index. And like no matter what grip I use on index, it's just like not enough. I tried different saber tailors, just doesn't work for me.
Because Scion Saber Taylor didn't work for me either. Like it was too pointed inward for me using B grip. But the one I use now, I like it a lot. I think jumps are so much easier now. But yeah,
I
have yet to
I-
mess around still.
I use B grip, one finger B grip, and like I remember when someone told me about B grip, I was like, it was still like I think it was October, November or something, like when I first started. And they were like, dude, you don't have to hold your controller like that. You can just put your finger in the hole. I'm like, oh my god, that's so true, and I've been doing it ever since.
I remember when Hammer first came to my stream and was like, you should try this grip. And he was trying to get me to do B grip, and I tried it for like 10 minutes, and then I was like, absolutely not, I hate it. And I wouldn't do it. And then like it took me like 2 months, and then I went back to it and I tried it again and like gave it a college effort for like a 4-hour session. And then I was sold.
Yeah,
But I
it's
love the
good.
index. I love the controllers. I can't wait for you to try it, Cosmos. Or not Cosmos. I was reading Cosmos in chat saying Monka Home. I can't wait for you to try it, Clouder. And like to send you your Saber Taylors, and it's so good.
I do have the controllers already.
Oh god, they're so
I
good.
just didn't have the headset yet because I couldn't order it until my reservation opened today.
Nice.
Ooh.
I just haven't played Beat Saber in over a month.
Oh, we got a question from Epsilon.
What do you think you can change for Beat Saber itself? Or what do you think can change features, etc.?
I don't really know if
Squeak
they...
shit update the editor.
Yeah, screenshot update. Yeah, are we? I guess
Official
are we
multiplayer.
talking? Are we talking like official game, like dev updates, or like?
Features, etc. That sounds like base game.
Yeah, for base game, I don't really know that there's a whole lot that they need to add. Maybe they could.
Multiplayer.
Yeah, multiplayer is the big is the one thing. I don't know. Maybe they.
Personally, I feel
Okay.
like they should at least like introduce other new mappers into the like,
Official mappers.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to see a new
Mm.
official mapper. That'd be
Yeah.
nice.
like the new songs like released, was it yesterday?
The new Camellia
Yes.
pack.
Yeah, but the one Yaser did, I loved that one.
Yeah, that seemed to be the
Crystallized.
crowd favorite.
Yeah. I just wish they could introduce like a little bit more mappers that are more in tune with the community, maybe.
We actually had we've had Benny and Freak on
On the show.
talking about mapping officially for Beat Games, and he said that even if they had more, the final say is from the developers. So like they have a huge influence on it. And I actually played Crystallized today, and I'm wondering if, as the game has grown, if that final say is becoming a little more flexible, if maybe they're less
hope
strict.
it
I don't
is.
know though, right? Like I'm just guessing.
From what it seems, I don't think it is, because they've had a pretty consistent mapping style through the entirety of all OSTs. Like, there's been a little bit of innovation, but it's like innovation that was made like 6 months ago in the like community mappersphere. Like, people, they've started to use like more consistence up into the sides as a way to reset, which is not good at this point. People know that up into the sides is bad.
Well, and I was reading too, like he had been testing some of these maps since like May, which is months and months and months. So I'm wondering if it's impossible for them to kind of stay up to date with what we're doing in our community mapping if it takes that long to test a map and get it out. You know what I mean? Like things change, like made us change in that amount of time.
Yeah, I think Freak was talking about how like maps are made like months in advance.
Yeah, it's nuts, right?
Yeah, so I think that makes it a bit rougher when it comes to actually putting them out.
Hmm.
What do you
Yeah.
think works best for maps? Instrumental songs with great beats or songs more focused on vocals?
In my opinion, it just depends on the mapper. Like, Uninstaller does great with vocals, but like people like Hex can also do instruments pretty well.
Yeah, I think it's largely a mapping style preference, because as far as community maps go, it's you have different mappers that like mapping different things, right? Like I kind of lean more towards vocal stuff personally, and then like Bug said, there's like Uninstaller does a lot of vocal stuff, and where you have people like Kikis and Hexagonial and
Squeaksy smile. I beat Maramaris, by the way. I beat Maramaris. I have an announcement to make. I beat Maramaris. I got sub 50%
Great job.
accuracy.
I'm so proud of you.
Round of
I'm so
applause.
proud of how far I've come. I did it off stream. And then I played it today and I failed at like 19 seconds where I usually fail. So I don't know.
I've found that so many times when I play a song, I finally beat it, and the next day I still can't do it.
Yeah.
I got past the part where I'm usually stuck on Maramaris, and here's what I told myself. I was like, just look for the reds, because they can come from fucking anywhere. Right? Like, they could just show up in any lane, and any row, facing any direction. So just pay attention to where they are. And you're going to, like, I was literally telling myself that while I was beating the song. But I did it.
So like there are famous mappers like Ama, Hex, Oddly, Pug, and then there's me with Alphabet Song.
I'm famous for the wrong reasons.
Embryo.
Yeah.
yeah, Embryo is a thing.
Embryo up
second
into the
most
side.
downvoted.
Yep.
People are upset, but I know people get really excited when they beat it. I remember Cosmos was really happy. Was it Embryo you were really happy you beat that day? I think it was.
I can see the good mapping in Embryo, but then like I play it and I get so fucking frustrated.
It's like 5 AM sleep deprived mapping, that is. I didn't bother test playing it before uploading it.
And then it got ranked.
Yeah.
I got right.
What about China Dress?
Oh, that was China just was
OG.
the first map. Was it?
It was one of them. One of the first, if not the
it
first.
was one of the first 3 maps. It's either Chinese restaurant, or Chinese restaurant was first. China Express was the 3rd map.
And
That
then China
was-
dress was second.
Yeah. I think my Chinese restaurant was, I'd say, a complete disaster, along with Chinese dress or China dress. But I actually still really like China Express.
Oh,
Felt like it held
Sunshine.
up pretty well.
Sunshine was a good one. I've never beaten
Uh,
Sunshine either. Smile.
Yeah, that's just a mess at the end, in my opinion.
I might be just be Pipega in the brain, but like I hear you like Chinese dress, Chinese restaurant, Chinese train. I'm like what? I don't understand where he's coming from. What?
These are some old pug maps. Have you never
Yeah.
played China dress? Hi, it's me, your 4 white sliders.
China shirt.
Classic Chinese. Pug only mapped maps with the word China in it for a while.
For like 3
The
maps.
first 3 maps were the China trilogy. There was a 4th, but it got taken down, and now is nobody can find it. Certain people have it, but not anymore.
Oh, Pepe hands.
Plastic riots.
Plastics, right? Oh,
That's
boy.
an old-
Chinese national anthem. So good.
It's China, China. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Actually.
Yeah. It's gone.
Rip. F.
Pepe hands.
F China, China. So yeah, that was like an hour and 40 minutes. We aim for an hour, but that never happens. We just end up talking.
No, it's become more.
Yes,
this
I just need to change the description. Yeah, re-upload it, please. So
I
yeah,
don't actually have the file.
I think Kay does.
It's not on my computer anymore. I know Kay does. I might have it on my backup folder. Let me quickly check.
Search. We must know.
So one question I like to ask, but we've talked about it a little bit, is if somebody is wanting to do what you guys do in the community and you could only give them one piece of advice, since we took our questions from chat, and we've been here for about an hour and a half, if you have to give them one piece of advice and that's it, you can only give them one piece, what would it be?
For me, I'd say just do it. We spent too long fumbling our thumbs on Cube Community.
Don't wait for somebody else to make the thing a thing.
Yeah.
If you have an idea for a thing, make that thing.
I have. Let's see. So, just start doing it. You might not be ready, but just start doing it, because like when I first joined Cube Community, I was just like, oh, welcome, you're an editor now. Edit now. I didn't know how to do it, so I just kept asking questions to them, and later on I just learned from experience. So just do it, and
Do it and
you'll
ask
learn along the
questions.
way. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a big one. I think a lot of people are afraid to ask questions or be seen like they don't know something. I know I can be like that. But yeah, just figure it out. Just do a forehead.
Yeah, pretty much. Just do it, forehead.
What about you, Amma? One piece of advice.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same, but like, if you see something in the community and you think it's missing, like, make it. There's no reason not to. Like, that's what we saw. We saw a void in an area that we thought should have existed, and we did it. Like, if you think that there's something that this community is missing, there's no reason to not do it. Even if you fail, like, you'll learn something from it. Like, just do it. I don't know. It's the same advice, but do things that you think are missing, because there's no reason to not do it.
Just do a forehead,
We all gave the same advice, but different areas.
but different. It's important.
I mean, that's exactly what we did. So like that's like, there's no other way to explain it. Really, it's just we did something.
I
and
made this.
it worked.
I made this. Smile.
It's literally, Cube Community is the culmination of literally just, I made this, smile.
Like,
We made this.
the day someone
made this.
reposts one of our videos, that's when we know we have succeeded.
Yeah.
We've become big enough.
Yeah, when
Very
you
cool.
know, you see the retweets, you see the likes and stuff, and like, it's nice. You just do. I mean, there are other people that are starting up channels dedicated to other stuff, and they'll get somewhere. And if they don't, they'll learn why, and they'll do whatever else. So
Yep, I think that's really big with content creation and community building in general. It's like if you celebrate the tiny things, like you said, every time you get a like, every time you get a retweet. I remember the first time I got a message about my stream that was like, hey, thank you for what you do. Like, here's how it changes my life for the better. Then everything kind of is worth it, right? Like, if you're doing it for the right reasons, if you're doing it for those reasons, if it's something that you love, like we all love Beat Saber, we all love the community, then the doing of it is the reward itself. You know, like I've learned so much from like stream and coordinating the houses and things like that, meeting all of you guys and playing Beat Saber, that even if it all went away tomorrow, or if like nobody came to my streams ever again, I would still be playing a game that I love, and I still would have learned so much, you know? So it's all worth it. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and for talking to me tonight. I am excited for the tournament tomorrow. I'm excited to see all you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't oversleep.
Yeah, please be on time.
It's like 5 or 6
Hopefully I get
p.m. over
food,
there. I think it'll be all right.
Yeah, do you have anything you want to say to chat? Tell them that they're very cute. Say thank you, Amma. Thank you, Pug. Thank you, Clutter. Thank you, Stenis. And you guys can say bye to chat.
Instead of thanking me, thank Alma.
I think Amma twice.
Yeah, Amma just runs Cube Community on his own.
Yeah, we
just-
started the joke like right before we left to join.
No, it isn't a joke. We're serious. He runs
Yeah,
it on his own.
okay, yeah, sure. But like,
There
if
is
you look
nobody
in,
else involved.
If you look in Q community general, it's just Alma.
Yeah, it's
Just
just
me.
Amma.
Just
Just
Amma.
Amma.
Yeah, it's
Amanatsu.
just Alma.
This is Cube Community. Golfo, yes, I really want to get on VRC. I haven't played since I've gotten back from Anime Expo. I haven't gotten on. So I will say goodbye to these guys. Thank you guys again so much for being here. I will see you all tomorrow. It was awesome meeting you guys at Anime Expo too.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, Amanatsu is everywhere. So I'm gonna mute and deafen in Discord and say bye, and then I'll find somebody to raid, but I'll hop back in just a minute. So bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
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 So now they can't hear me, but you guys can hear me. That was fun. So tomorrow is the Cube Community Summer Tournament, and like all of our friends are gonna play in it. So make sure that you're watching that. It is on their Twitch channel. And if you want to get involved, pay attention to that because they're doing some really cool stuff in the community. I got to meet Amanatsu and Pug at Anime Expo, so that was actually really cool. Some stuff that is coming up very soon. If you could tell me who I could raid, Hammer, that'd be sick. Some stuff that's coming up. I'm going to Dragon Con at the end of August, so that's really exciting. I'm going to be doing a vlog while I'm there. I'm going to have a stream room set up, so we'll be streaming every day while we're there. And I'm going to be doing a lot of Instagram content for V-Respawn while I'm there, and I'm going to be there with Pesky, and we're going to be writing articles. So that'll be cool. The Summer Cup. Yes, thank you, Danny. And then I will be at Oculus Connect, hopefully, and then at TwitchCon. If you are going to TwitchCon and you need a place to stay, please tell me. I need to know who's staying there. I'll have a lot of information, and a lot of things will change depending on that information next week. So next week, I will book the house and stuff for TwitchCon. So if you're interested, please let me know. It'll be fun. And then, who do I want to raid? We haven't raided Awesome since TwitchCon, right? I mean, since AX. Or Lalop. Lalop just got VR. Who do you guys want to talk to? Awesome was in my house at Anime Expo. Lalop just got VR. If we haven't done... We just did Pink. We've done Pink Uninstaller. Yeah, Awesome is really cute. Awesome was at the Anime Expo house. Okay, but now we have 2 votes for Lalop, so now we do Lalop. So Lalop just got VR. Yes? Yes. Lalop, 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 Lalop. Okay, we go do Lalop. Lalop is very cool. I love Lalop. Lalopi? Lalope? Lalapo. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. It was a lot of fun. Next week, we are with the BSMG staff, another large community here in Beat Saber. We will talk to them about what it is like to run a Discord of 250,000 people. Smile. Or however many they have. It's ridiculous, though. So we'll talk about that. Yes? Go give a lop some love. Thanks for hanging out with us. Here we go.